Hi, and welcome to Teaching Tip Tuesday, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning at UWSP. Last week, I discussed the strengths and weaknesses of generative artificial intelligence in the context of Bloom's cognitive taxonomy. This week, I'll put this into the context of career preparation. To maintain the value of the degrees we award and a competitive edge for our graduates in the job market, it's important that our students have skills that are valued by employers. As we saw last week, GAI is better at some tasks than humans are. It doesn't need a break, it never gets tired or burned out, and it's faster than people are. So, where it excels, we can expect that GAI will replace humans in completing tasks because it will be cheaper and more efficient. Some of the tasks experts think will be farmed out to GAI include repetitive tasks, especially calculations, procedures or practices that involve following a set of protocol steps, and any function where X is automatically followed by Y then Z. All of these can be automated. Basic writing, so pro forma letters, reports, meeting notes, and summaries. Memory tasks, the recall of information. Pattern recognition in large sets of data. And application of concepts to known contexts. Jobs are basically a collection of tasks. Note that almost all jobs include some of these tasks, so it's likely that there will be shifts in the sets of tasks that are bundled together to make up full-time jobs. Professions that have more of these types of tasks currently grouped together will be impacted the most. Those that involve routine and repetitive procedures that don't require a high degree of interpersonal communication, such as financial services, management analysts, statistical assistants, and digital communications personnel, are likely to experience the most automation in the age of GAI. For other tasks, there is a high potential for augmentation and increased individual productivity when human employees partner with GAI. Some examples include professions involving research that requires understanding, computer coding, evaluation based on GAI analysis, and some creative endeavors. For these types of tasks, humans working with GAI can be better or more productive than either the human or the AI could be alone. Professions in IT, STEM fields, data management and analysis, and computer programming are likely to be placed under higher productivity demands. Those who get and keep these jobs will be those who are GAI literate, that is, able to find the right GAI tool for the job, adept at crafting better prompts, able to use iterative queries, and with knowledge that allows recognition of biases and hallucinations so that they can improve the GAI output. The tasks that GAI can't do as yet are those that involve personal interactions with physical dimensions or nuanced context-based ethics and value judgment. Jobs that will be the least affected include physical therapists, nurses, home health aides, clergy, and paralegal assistants. So, what are the skills that will continue to be useful in future job markets? The following list summarizes skills from the American Association of Colleges and Universities Career Ready Graduate Survey of Employers, indicating the skills that GAI is not currently good at and that more than 70% of the surveyed employers thought were very important in identifying strong job candidates. As I go through this list of skills, I'll outline behaviors that students might engage in, showing that they possess each skill, how the skill aligns with Bloom's taxonomy, and a couple of types of exercises that can help students develop the skill. First, we have oral communication, which 81% of the employers surveyed indicated was a very important skill as they identified strong job candidates. This is the ability to express ideas clearly and effectively in spoken form. Students can demonstrate it by delivering presentations confidently, participating actively in meetings and discussions, listening attentively and responding appropriately, and explaining complex concepts in an understandable manner. This aligns with Bloom's apply, analyze, and evaluate levels. Some activities you can engage students in to help them develop this skill are debate sessions, where students prepare and participate in debates on a variety of topics. Presentation projects, in which students create and deliver presentations on assigned subjects. And students can engage in role-playing exercises to practice communication in different scenarios. Next, we have adaptability and flexibility, which 81% of respondents identified as an important skill for prospective employees to have. This is the capacity to adjust to new conditions and to effectively handle change. Behaviors students can engage in to demonstrate this are embracing new tasks or roles with a positive attitude, adjusting plans and strategies in response to feedback, managing multiple tasks and shifting priorities as needed, and demonstrating resilience in the face of setbacks. This aligns with the apply, analyze, and evaluate levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Some exercises you can engage students in to develop this skill are analysis of case studies that require adapting to new information, simulations that require quick thinking and adaptability, and group projects where students have changing roles and responsibilities. 80% of those surveyed indicated that working effectively in teams was an important skill for potential job candidates. This is the ability to collaborate with others to achieve common goals. Students can demonstrate this by contributing to group discussions and activities, by respecting diverse perspectives and ideas, and by supporting and encouraging team members as they resolve conflicts constructively. This skill aligns with Bloom's apply, analyze, and evaluate levels. Some activities you can engage students in to develop this skill include engaging in activities that build trust and collaboration, or team-building exercises, by completing assignments that require teamwork and collective problem-solving, or group assignments, and by providing and receiving feedback on group work. 79% of respondents in the AAC&U survey indicated that motivation and initiative was a very important quality to see in prospective job candidates. This is the drive to achieve goals and the willingness to take proactive steps in order to achieve them. Students can demonstrate this skill by setting personal and professional goals, by volunteering for additional responsibilities, by seeking out opportunities for growth and development, and by taking action without being prompted. This aligns with Bloom's taxonomy levels of apply, analyze, and evaluate. Exercises that you can assign that will help students develop this skill include goal-setting workshops, where students set and track personal and academic goals, projects that require self-direction and initiative, such as independent projects, and encouraging students to take on leadership roles in clubs or organizations. 76% of the respondents thought critical thinking was an important skill for graduates to have as they enter the job market. This is the process of objectively analyzing and evaluating information to form a reasoned judgment. Students can demonstrate this by analyzing information, breaking it down into understandable parts, by assessing the credibility and relevance of information sources as they evaluate evidence, by identifying and questioning the underlying assumptions of their reasoning, and drawing conclusions based on evidence and logical reasoning. This aligns with the apply, analyze, and evaluate categories in Bloom's taxonomy. You can encourage the development of this skill through argument mapping, by assigning critiques, or by action plan development. Creativity and innovative thinking are also highly valued by employers. These are the abilities to generate new ideas and consider new approaches. Students can demonstrate this by engaging in brainstorming and proposing novel solutions to problems, by thinking outside of the box as they solve problems, and experimenting with new methods and technologies. They can also encourage a culture of innovation. This aligns with the create level of Bloom's taxonomy. Activities you can engage students in include participating in brainstorming sessions to generate new ideas, by assigning creative writing exercises, and by assigning challenges that require innovative solutions. 74% of the employers surveyed indicated that complex problem solving was very important in identifying strong job candidates. This is the ability to identify, analyze, and solve intricate issues with multiple causes and many different parameters. Students can demonstrate their ability to do this by breaking down problems into manageable parts, by conducting their own research and analysis, by developing and evaluating multiple solutions to problems, and by implementing effective and sustainable solutions. This aligns with Bloom's taxonomy levels: analyze, evaluate, and create. Some of the assignments you can use to develop this skill include working on real-world problems that require complex solutions, by engaging in case studies in which students evaluate information and solve complex problems, and by assigning research in which students must solve intricate issues. Next, we have data analysis and interpretation. This is the ability to examine data and draw meaningful conclusions. Students can show this skill by collecting and organizing data systematically, using statistical tools and software to analyze data, interpreting data trends and patterns, and presenting data findings clearly and accurately. This aligns with Bloom's taxonomy levels of apply, analyze, and evaluate. Activities that will help students develop this skill are analysis of data sets from which students must draw conclusions, projects that require students to use statistical software for data analysis, and assigning research reports in which students communicate their interpretation of data. Ethical judgment and decision-making, not the forte of GAI, was rated as very important by 73% of surveyed employers. This is the ability to make decisions based on ethical principles. Students can demonstrate this by considering the ethical implications of decisions, by acting with integrity and honesty, by respecting confidentiality and privacy, and by balancing personal and organizational values. This aligns with the apply, analyze, and evaluate levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Activities that will help students develop their ethical judgment include ethical case studies, where they analyze case studies and make ethical decisions, debates on ethical issues, in which they debate ethical dilemmas to understand different perspectives, and the evaluation of ethical arguments. Finally, employers value digital technology literacy. This was rated as very important to a job candidate's quality by 73% of the employers surveyed. This is the ability to effectively use digital tools and platforms to communicate, collaborate, create, and share content. Behaviors students can engage in to demonstrate their skill in this area include navigating and using various software applications efficiently, working with others through digital platforms like Google Workspace or Microsoft Teams, developing digital content such as videos, blogs, and social media posts, and communicating effectively through emails, messaging apps, and social media. This aligns with Bloom's taxonomy levels, including apply, analyze, and evaluate. You can help students develop this by offering them tech workshops, which cover new digital tools and technologies to increase their awareness of the diversity of tools available for various applications, encouraging them to take online courses that use a variety of digital tools, and by asking them to produce digital projects that leverage a variety of digital platforms and tools. Although these are not the only skills and dispositions that employers value, these are ones that will hold up in the era of generative artificial intelligence. And you can use the information provided on importance to employers, Bloom's taxonomy alignment, and associated behaviors when you tilt your assignments, increasing student valuation of work in your course. Remember, maintaining the relevance of higher education to preparing graduates for careers in the age of GAI may require refocusing our teaching to help students establish the needed skills. And that's this week's teaching tip, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP. Remember, at CITL, we offer support for course design, learning activities, assessment, and pedagogy. Visit our website to schedule a consultation today.